Hello viewers, hope you all are fit and fine. Once again I am here with my next video on The Tempest, Act 1, Scene 2. I will cover lines from 430 to 520 in this video. Lines from 430 to 520 I will cover in this video. Up to line number 430, we read that there is a conversation between Caliban and Prospero, and we come to know about that bitterness that prevailed in their relationships. Caliban is slave to Prospero, and Prospero hates him because in spite of doing all good efforts for Caliban, Caliban still remains a wicked. So now Caliban exits with the orders of Prospero and re-enter Ariel. Invisible, playing and singing. Ferdinand is following Ariel. If you remember, audience, Ariel had gone to transform into a invisible nymph, a water nymph. So now Ariel appears on the stage and behind him Ferdinand is following. Some music is also heard and Ariel seems to be singing this. Ariel's song is this: "Come unto these yellow sands and then take hands, curtsied when you haven't kissed, the wild waves whist, footed featly here and there, and sweet sprites and burden beat, hark, hark." 435 line you can see. So Ariel sings a song, "Come unto these yellow sands." Actually he is inviting Ferdinand onto that island through this song. The words of this song seem to be just like an invitation. So you come here on this yellow sands and then take hands, means then you can just relax, curtsied when you have and kiss the wild wave whist. So you have kissed the wild wave means you have just suffered from on the sea surface because of the wrath of currents, but now you can keep your feet here and there on this sand. It means from sea surface you have come on the surface of earth. And sweet sprites, the burden beat, hark, hark. So here are many sweet spirits, and you can hear the music or the song sung by these sweet spirits here and there on this place. So you can also join them. Burden desperately within bow wow. So these are some words. Bow wow means these are some words which represent that natural music which is flowing in the air in that place. The watchdogs bark, burden desperately within bow wow. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer, cry cock-a-doodle-doo. So this all song is sung by Ariel. This song is sung by Ariel simply just to amaze Ferdinand, or just to make Ferdinand forget all those sufferings and sorrows through which he has just come out. So Ferdinand, after hearing the song, when he reaches there, he says, "Where should this music be? In the air or the earth?" So Ferdinand is surprised. He is amazed. He does not know from where this music is coming. Whether this music is buzzing in the air or it is coming from the surface of the earth, because he could not see Ariel. Ariel is invisible to Ferdinand. So therefore he does not know who is the singer here. It sounds no more, but just then the music stops. For a moment Ariel stops singing because Ferdinand is saying something. So Ferdinand thinks, oh, this music stops at once. Sure, it waits upon some god of the island. So when the music stops, he thinks that there should be some god on this island, and this music has stopped because this music is being played for that god. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack, this music crept by me upon the waters. So now he tries to recall when I started to hear this music. He remembers that when I was sitting on the bank of that seashore, okay, at that time I was crying helplessly because I was alone. My father had drowned into the shipwreck. So at that time, just because of the sudden demise of my father, I was crying along on the sea bank. This music all of a sudden touched my eardrums. I suddenly heard this music which seemed to be coming from the water waves. At that time I heard this music, allaying both their fury and my passion. And as soon as I heard the music, this music seems to have subsided the wrath of sea storm as well as the wrath of the burning passions of my heart. Means it not only subsided the furious ocean, but it subsided my sufferings also. With its sweet air, thence I have followed it. So with its sweet music, I just got some relief from my aching, you can say, soul, and therefore I started to follow this music. So since then I have been coming after this music, or it hath drawn me rather. I don't know whether I am coming after the music or the music has pulled me here. Maybe I have been led by the music up to this place, but it's gone. But it's surprising that all of a sudden it disappears. The music has stopped. No, it begins again. But just then Ariel starts to sing again. So Ferdinand hears the music again and feels happiness that it has started again. So Ariel sings another piece of song. He says, "Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell, ding dong, hark now hear them ding dong bell." Line number 455 to 460, you can see Ariel's song. This song has some meaning. This song has some objective. Actually, in this song, Ariel will inform Ferdinand about his father. Till now, Ferdinand has the opinion that his father is no more. He has drowned in the ocean. But Ariel tells, "Full fathom 5 thy father lies." Your father is lying 5 fathom deep in the sea. Of his bones are coral made. His bones have transformed into the sea coral. Those are pearls that were his eyes. His eyes also have changed into pearls. Nothing of him that doth fade. So he has transformed into something better, something superior. Even a single hair of his body has not been faded. Means nothing has been destroyed of the body of your father, but doth suffer a sea change. Only the body of your father has undergone a sea change, means undergone a change, a transformation due to the sea into something rich and strange. And this transformation has made your father richer and worthier. Sea nymphs hourly sing his knell. He is in the custody of sea nymphs, sea fairies. These fairies, these angel-like spirits are, every hour they are paying their duty and singing the songs of, you can say, funeral bell. Knell refers to funeral bell. Means your old father is being attended by the sea fairies. You need not worry about him in a way. So this way Ariel just gives some information, some hint about King Alonso to Ferdinand. So when Ferdinand hears this song, he says that Ditty does remember my drowned father. He is surprised. Ditty refers to song. Ditty means song. Okay, this song, in this song, something is said about my father who is drowned. Okay, who is thought to be no more. This is no mortal business. But when somebody in this song is speaking about my father, it means this song is not sung by anything mortal. It is not sung by some mortal human being. No sound that the earth owes. And the sound of this song, the voice in this song also appears not to be coming from some earthly creature. It appears to be something supernatural. I hear it now above me. And just then he hears that the sound is coming from above his head. So therefore, above me refers to, means this does not belong to the earth. It is just above the earth something is happening to me. So when Ferdinand thinks like this, Prospero speaks to Miranda here. He speaks to his daughter here, "The fringed curtains of thine eye advance and say what thou seest yond." He tells Miranda that the fringed curtain of thy eye advance. You please raise the eyelids of your eyes. You please raise your eyes, look at a far away distance and see what you can see there. Look at a distance and tell me, can you see something over there? Miranda says, what is it? A spirit? So when Miranda looks at Ferdinand, actually Prospero intentionally tells Miranda to look forward because he wanted that Miranda should look at Ferdinand. Therefore, when Miranda looks at Ferdinand, she does not know who is he. Therefore, she says, what is it? A spirit? Means, is he a spirit? What is this, Lord? How it looks about. But when she finds that Ferdinand was looking here and there and his movements, gestures of his body were just like a normal human being. So she is very much surprised. She is amazed. She says, oh my God, how does he look here and there? Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form. She tells her father that, sir, my father, you please trust me. What I tell you about that thing, what I see at a distance, it carries a brave form. It carries a handsome figure. The spirit is very strange because spirits generally don't have any figure. They don't have any concrete form and shape. So therefore this spirit has a handsome body shape. But it's a spirit. But very surprising. Since it is a spirit, how can it have a body shape? Prospero, no wench. It eats and sleeps and has such senses as we have such. So Prospero tells his daughter that my daughter, it's not a spirit. Actually, it eats like us, it sleeps like us, okay? It also has the senses, the same sense organs like you and me. Line number 470, Prospero here introduces Ferdinand to Miranda. He says that this is not a spirit. It is a normal human being like you and me. He also has the same sense organs. He can feel pain, he can feel happiness, etc. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, but he is something stained with grief. That is beauty's canker. So he tells that this gallant, this brave, handsome man was also in that ship which was wrecked, which was broken into pieces in the sea storm. But he is something stained with grief. But now he is stained with grief. Stained with grief means he seems to be in his bad shape or disfigured because of the pain and suffering. That is beauty's canker. So because of this pain and suffering, his beauty has been stained a little bit. Otherwise he would look more handsome. That is what he wants to say. Thou mightest call him a goodly person. You can think that he is a goodly person. Goodly person means he is a very handsome looking, very good looking human being. Okay, he is a man with good looks. He has lost his fellows and strays about to find them. Actually, in that shipwreck, he lost all his companions and now he is wandering here and there in search of his companions. Miranda says, I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble. Miranda is mesmerized to see the handsome figure of Ferdinand. She says in line 475, I might call him a thing divine. He does not appear to be a normal mortal human being. I would like to call him a divine thing. He appears to be a godlike figure to me because I have never seen anything natural, so noble, so handsome. Prospero speaks, it goes on, I see. So aside means Prospero speaks to himself that yes, what I intended is happening. Everything is going in the favorable way as I intended. My soul prompts it, means what my soul decided, it is happening now. Spirit, fine spirit, I will free thee within 2 hours for this. So now Prospero wants to leave Miranda for a moment with her emotions. Therefore, he speaks to Ariel here. Spirit refers to Ariel. That where are you, my fine spirit? I will just set you free within 2 days for doing this wonderful job. So Ferdinand now speaks. Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend. So now Ferdinand also has come close to Miranda. And he looks at Miranda and thinks, okay, what is this? Who can she be? Surely it must be the goddess of this island. And maybe it is for this goddess the air or the music was attending to. vouchsafe my prayer, may know if you remain upon this land. Vouchsafe means if God grants my prayers, so I would like to know whether you live on this island, who you are. It means he wants to get some information about Miranda, that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is you wonder if you be mate or no. He says that you please let me know. It is my prime request to you that which I do last pronounce is, oh, you wonder if means if you are a maid or not. Are you a girl, normal human girl, or something else? Miranda says, no wonder, sir, but certainly a maid. Miranda says, I am sure, a common girl, a girl, not a spirit. Ferdinand, my language. Heavens, Ferdinand is again surprised to hear the same language in which he speaks. He says, you speak my language? What a wonderful thing it is. I am the best of them that speak this speech were I but where it is spoken. So Ferdinand introduces himself this way, that if I were in the same place where this language is spoken, means if I were in my own country, so I would surely be the best of them. So best of them refers to means I would rank the highest of all my countrymen. Prospero overhears. Prospero say, how the best? How can you call yourself the best? What were thou if the king of Naples heard thee? How could you be the best if the king of Naples hear you? Prospero reminds him. Prospero tries to tell him that you are wrong. Till your father is alive, you cannot be the best one. Ferdinand, a single thing as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. Ferdinand in line 495 says, this is the most wonderful thing for me that you are talking about Naples, my country. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples. He said, he hears me and he knows that I am weeping for him. It means he wants to tell that my father is no more alive, and myself am Naples. So therefore I am Naples in the absence of my father, who with mine eyes never since have beheld the king my father right. Actually, since when that tempest came, I did not see my father above the sea waves. That's why most probably my father is wrecked with the ship. Therefore, I am the best one. Miranda, Allah for mercy. Miranda shows sorrow, or you can say conveys condolence for this. Ferdinand says, yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being trained. Ferdinand says, yes, my father, along with his companions, his lords, was drowned, plus Duke of Milan also, along with his son, they all had drowned into that sea tempest. So Prospero aside the Duke of Milan. So this word just strikes the ears of Prospero. He says that how can you say that Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee, if now it were fit to do it. He says you are talking of Duke of Milan, but Duke of Milan and his brave daughter, yani ke Prospero and Miranda, could have controlled you, could have challenged you, punished you for speaking so, if this is the right time for doing this. Since it is not the right time for doing this, so I am sparing you. At the first sight, they have changed eyes. So now Prospero thinks that first time they both have changed their eyes, yani ke they have fallen in love with each other. Okay, delicate Ariel, I will set thee free for this. And he is happy to see this exchange of looks between Miranda and Ferdinand. So he speaks to Ariel that I will set you free, I will give you freedom for doing this good job. And to Ferdinand he speaks, a word, good sir, I fear you have done yourself some wrong. Sir, I want to speak to you something, because I am afraid that you have done something wrong with you. You have done something wrong. That means you are not saying the right things. So Miranda thinks, why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that ever I saw, the first that ever I sighed for. Miranda is surprised to see, to hear the tone of her father. She says, why does my father speak in such an ungentle, rough manner? First time I have seen this man. Besides my father and Caliban, I have never seen any other man. This is the third man. And for this man, I am having some pain. I am just touched by the pain of this man. So why my father is talking in this rash manner? While pity move my father to be inclined my way. I wish that pity should touch the heart of my father also, and he should also speak in the same way as I am. So we stop here in this video, and in next video we will continue. Thank you viewers for watching the video.